Myanmar has always been on my wish list, but because of decades of military rule, it was off limits. Now the place is opening up, and I want to meet the people who've been behind closed doors for so long and find out what makes this country so mystical, magical, beautiful, and complicated. I'm starting my journey in Yangon, the former capital of the country and its biggest city. It's a chaotic place, heaving street markets, gridlock roads and ramshackle historic buildings. And also, as it's monsoon season, it's drenched with rain. But then, in the middle of all the mayhem, is this place. Wow, it's actually quite an overcast grey day, but you come here and it's like it's brilliant sunshine because the reflection of the gold is just dazzling. Myanmar is a deeply devout country. 89% of the population are Buddhist. The Shwedagon Pagoda is a revered holy site and a source of national pride because it stood for 2,500 years, surviving earthquakes, invasions, and the country's more recent tumultuous history. The story of Myanmar over the last 2 centuries has really been all about other countries and the military muscling in and taking over. The remnants of British influence can still be seen all over the city. They seized control in the 19th century. Many found colonial Yangon, then called Rangoon, a beguiling place. Rudyard Kipling, author of The Jungle Book, described it as a land like no other. In 1948, Burma finally gained its independence, but there was much instability and ethnic conflict. And in the early 1960s, the country was thrown into turmoil by a military coup. Decades of isolation followed as the army ruled the nation with an iron fist. They also changed the name of the country to Myanmar, which most locals use today. In 2011, the military government relaxed its grip. And although ethnic tensions continue, there have been some democratic reforms. It turns out my taxi driver, Shell, was himself a victim of the military regime. Hello. Imprisoned after taking part in student protests in 1988, he spent a total of 14 years behind bars. And when he came out, he struggled to get a job.
I wasn't able to study since I was in prison for 14 years without any education. Job opportunities were very slim, so I learned how to drive.
Now he and 2 other former political prisoners have started a cab network called Golden Harp Taxis to raise funds and help others like them readjust to the outside world. Do you think that tourism is good for this country?
We've not seen anything like it in our lifetime. It's very good for the country because we have more hotels for the tourist sector, more job opportunities, and tourism's booming, and that will generate foreign currency for us.
In parts of the city, the outside world is already creating flurries of excitement. Something unprecedented has happened in Myanmar. Even in a country blessed with so many amazing stupas, temples and pagodas, this new place has got people wildly excited. Yep, it's the first Western fast food joint to open in the whole of the country. It's not cheap, mind. A regular meal costs way more than the average daily wage here. Some worry this is just the start of a big brand invasion that will ruin the unique character of Yangon. But as I found out from Myanmar's answer to Lady Gaga, there'll always be a uniquely Burmese twist on popular culture. You are known for two things, but one is your unique voice and also your dress sense.
My sister, she's my stylist, and she helped me out with all my wardrobes. She has this inspiration from our traditional theaters. They are very colorful and bright colors and all, even the masks. And she turned it into modern costumes for me.
Pew Pew is one of the country's most famous pop stars. She actually trained as a doctor, but was determined to become a singer. No easy feat under the military junta, where rebellious artists and musicians were kept in check. Something Pew Pew herself has experienced.
The arbitrary statement said that my style of singing is very bold and very different from the norms. The movement of my lips and even my voice, and it has been banned.
Despite the censorship, Pew Pew's lasted 12 years in the music industry. Tonight, she's performing at a charity gig. I know you've recorded with artists around the world. What do they know about Myanmar, about Burma?
The first impression is that how could this possible to survive in the dark cave for like 50 years? It's always a very strange thing for my international artist fans. They are always curious about that. They would really want to know that how we could survive.
The next day, I'm leaving the city for the countryside, where 70% of the population live. I'm heading to a pilgrimage site that is so uniquely Burmese, Mount Popa. It's a volcanic rock over 700 meters high. I can just about see it through the fog. Meet the macaque monkeys of Popa. Yes, cute at first, but there are 2,000 of them, and I must admit, the novelty wears off. So here we are, near the base of Mount Popa. It's kind of like mayhem here. Monkeys, people, icons, tigers, and I'm here to meet a spirit mediator. Hello, I'm Rajan. So there are gnats here, right? Not the biting kind. These 37 gnats are spirits and part of an ancient form of worship that exists alongside Buddhism. And Mount Popa is thought to be the home of the gnats.
Spirit worshippers believe that each gnat has extraordinary powers, and if they have a problem, they come and pray and make an offering to the gnat. They hope the gnat will fulfill their desires.
And tell me, what's your role in this?
I connect with gnats and communicate with them and answer the questions people ask. Of course, we don't always connect with the spirits, but if one comes, my body will start to shake and my fingers move for a few seconds. Then I get the message and pass it to the person.
The mediator explains how offerings of flowers and money are made to the spirits. One of the Nats prefers to be offered alcohol. It's all a bit mysterious, if you ask me. And that's before I've even started the climb. Okay, 777 steps. Let's go. First, like all religious sites in Myanmar, it's shoes off. Shoes here, yeah. Soaking wet. I should have bought a spare pair of socks. And you do wonder who's really in charge here. A little bit spooky, if you ask me. People are actually being attacked by the monkeys, landing on their heads and stuff. The climb is steep and not helped by the fact that some of the steps are covered in monkey droppings. But the view going up is incredible. Golden pagodas peeking through the swirling mist. It's a surreal experience. Okay, I've climbed the 777 steps to the top of Mount Popa, this ancient spiritual shrine. And because of that mist, it's eerily beautiful. In the central plains of Myanmar lies an ancient site that some say rivals the far more famous Angkor Wat in Cambodia. So here we are, Bagan, 42 square kilometers of monasteries, temples and pagodas with a claim to be Asia's largest archaeological site. And I'm told that this is the best way to get about. This was Myanmar's first capital and where Buddhism in the country began. Over 2,000 religious monuments dominate the landscape. This show-stopping scenery was largely hidden from the world during the years of military rule and is yet to be overrun by tourists. What an experience! So this is the Ananda Temple, one of the showpiece temples in this whole complex. Supposed to be amazing. And I'm going to meet a man who, in a way, created tourism here way back in the 70s. And if anyone knows about the background, the history, the civilization here, it's this man. And here he is, I think.
Hello.
Edwin.
Yeah.
Really nice to meet you. How are you doing?
Welcome you from beautiful Bagan.
Well, this is amazing. The shape of the arch.
Yeah, the Gothic arch.
It's a Gothic arch.
Gothic arch.
The gold, obviously. We haven't even reached the shrine yet. Did they build all this by hand, or was it with
By hand.
Yeah, no machinery,
No
nothing
machine,
like that.
No machine at all, no machine.
Atwin used to work in a fertilizer factory. But in 1971, he started showing tourists around in exchange for English lessons. Wow. The temples here have withstood huge earthquakes and some ham-fisted attempts at restoration under the military junta. Some say that's why Bagan hasn't yet been awarded UNESCO heritage status. They painted over this, or tried to paint over this?
Yeah. They paint whitewash everywhere.
And now they're trying to restore it.
Yeah, slowly, because it's whitewash, the calcium eat the color.
Yeah. There's a lot to be done, but A-Twin hopes this is the start of more people coming to see the unique monuments here.
Because of that, the government situation, nobody mentioned about our culture and our country. I wanted you to know about my country and about my people all over the world.
And your amazing history.
Of course. We have many things to see, like this temple.
Next, we're heading east. But on the way to the airport, I'm, well, sidetracked. Hang on a minute. What's this? This is Keepy Uppies. Oh, no, this is, I know what this is. Can we stop, please? Can we stop? Thank you. Hey. Very, very skillful. I'm going to regret this. Mingalaba. Hi. Can I join in? Yeah? Fantastic. Chinlone, it's called, a 1,500-year-old ritual where the emphasis is not on winning, but on how beautifully you can play the game. Oh! There are over 200 ways to kick and pass the ball. Whoa! I want to try that one. Yeah. It's a bit hard. An hour's flight from Bagan is the vast Inle Lake. It covers 116 square kilometres and supports a way of life I've never seen anywhere else. The locals here live in stilted houses and farm floating gardens. And what a view. Mountains in the background, huge expanse of lake. It's so quiet.
You're not cold? Okay. You're coming from England.
Misu's family are from the Intha people, Intha literally meaning children of the lake.
We have no land to grow, so those bushes, when they die, they become floating, I won't say rubbish, but good rubbish. And on top, we put the earth from the water. So the floating garden is a very important part of our cuisine. We grow lots of vegetables such as tomatoes, beans, eggplants.
So tell me about the background to this. I mean, how old is this tradition of having floating gardens?
It has been forever here. I think all our ancestors on the lake has survived this way for many centuries. See, it's really float. It can move.
It moves.
Yeah.
There's a whole community set up on the lake. Not your average corner shop, is it? That's a school.
Yes, that's a middle school, yeah.
A school on stilts. Wow, I wish I went to school on stilts.
Inle is unique. Some of the fishing techniques are also unique to Inle, especially this one. The fisherman is putting this fish net into the lake.
And there's one other thing. Look how he's paddling.
Yes, we paddle by legs, as you can see. All boys and girls know how to paddle.
Hang on a minute.
With one leg.
Why does he need to paddle with one leg?
When you are standing like this, you can see the way farther. Another thing is that you can see when you have some, sign of fish under the water. And the third thing is that we believe that it's faster when you are driving boat by legs.
Faster.
It's faster,
Right.
much faster than when you are rowing by hands.
Images of the one-legged fishermen of Inle are used to sell Myanmar the world over. But Mitu tells me that today will likely be fruitless for the fishermen as recent wind and rain has made the water murky. Pollution is also a problem here, and over the years, the lake has halved in size. Can we talk to him?
Of course, yes, we should.
Okay.
Panila.
So I'm going to get into this boat.
Yes.
Excellent.
Try to sit. Yes.
Now I'm going to try and balance it for him.
Yeah. Oh, that's not bad. You didn't fall off.
And now this is
Oh, I
where
know.
you zoom off, and I never see you again.
He caught a big fish.
He needs to come back.
How much?
It's nice knowing you.
Bye.
Bye.
Good luck.
As I come to the end of my journey through Myanmar, the main impression I'm left with is that this is one of the most resourceful and fascinating countries that I've ever been to. Despite 5 decades of isolation, the people here have found some way to adapt and survive. Whether it's the pop singer I met who's battled against censorship, or the former political prisoner who's created a future for himself driving tourists around. The resilience of people here is truly humbling. Sandwiched between the tourist powerhouses of India and Thailand, travel here isn't easy or cheap, and many hope things will stay that way. Because as Myanmar starts to reconnect with the outside world, there's a strong message coming from the people here. We'll do things in our own way and at our own pace.
The war, yes, they want to help us, is welcome, very good, thank you very much. However, please leave us to be independent as well. We can even inspire other people because we somehow kept in a little bubble protection for only 5-6 decades. So certain treasure were hidden and kept intact. And maybe this is a great opportunities for all people, for us, but also for others to learn from it.